Hey guys, it's Kim Jong Spoon and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. In today's video, we are going to be doing an in-depth review of one of my favorite tanks in the whole game, the Tier 10 British Heavy, the FV215b. We're going to be taking a look at this thing in the garage and comparing it to two pretty similar tanks, the E50M and the SU-12244. I'll explain why they're similar a little bit later. Then we're going to be looking at Armor Inspector and seeing what its armor's like. It is a heavy tank, it should have some armor. Then we're going to see some live gameplay action and then some sweet ace tanker action at the very end of the video. So let's get started. First, we're going to look at the modules, and obviously it's a tier 10, and well, while some tier 10s have module upgrades like the E100, this one doesn't. You get a 120mm gun, you get a turret, obviously, you get one engine, and you get one set of tracks. So when you buy the tank, you're going to have everything you need to be a beast in it. Let's take a look at the gun to start out with. 6.9 rounds per minute. Let's compare that to the E50M. The E50M is a medium tank with a smaller gun, so it should fire faster, but not by a whole lot. It only 0.18 rate of fire, better than the FV215b. So really, this thing has insane DPM, and it has a 120mm gun, which does 400 average damage. So this gun actually gets just under 3,000 DPM without a gun rammer or vents, but if you throw those on there, you can get up to 3,178 damage per minute, which is insane. This thing is a DPM machine, and if you're trying to do like a DPM battle with it, you're probably going to lose, unless this thing has really low HP, or you get a bunch of miracle bounces. Looking at the penetration values, the average armor piercing penetration is 259. Now, most tier 10 mediums get 268 to 270 millimeters of penetration, but 259 isn't bad at all. You shouldn't have trouble penning any tier 8s and most tier 9s. You will need some APCR to pen some tier 10s. For example, hull down E100 or hull down Jaegeru, you're gonna need some APCR, but APCR does get 326 mils of pen, and it doesn't have the downfalls that Heat has, where if you shoot it at tracks, it's just going to completely disappear. So APCR is definitely a great ammo to have on you, just in case you're fighting against a hull down E100 or against an IS-7, which a lot of times will bounce that 259 mils of pen. Another thing to note is that the high explosive shells are actually HESH, and HESH stands for High Explosive Squash Head. It's basically just HE with better pen. Most guns of this caliber only get about 80 to 90 millimeters of penetration, but this 120 mils of pen will get you through the rear of most tier 10s and through a lot of tier 10 mediums, especially the rears. So if you see the back of like an Object 268 or an Object 140, definitely load that HE because you're going to do a lot more damage. It is a 120 mil gun, so you will do 400 average damage with AP and APCR, and then HE does 515. It's super accurate, 0.33 accuracy. For comparison, the E100 has 0.4 accuracy, so this is laser-like compared to the E100. And the most accurate gun in the game on the E50M gets 0.3 accuracy, I believe. Let's just make sure. Yeah, 0.3 accuracy, and that has a 2.1 second aiming time. The FV215b has a 1.7 second aiming time, so it aims a lot faster than the E50M and is just a little bit less accurate. So this thing's a laser, and what you shoot at usually gets hit. Now let's take a look at some equipment, consumables, and ammo that I use. So first off, consumables. I use Pudding and Tea. I use the premium consumable on everything that I play, just because you get better DPM. You even get better DPM than that 3,178 that I mentioned earlier. I also have a multi-purpose restoration pack because your tracks get destroyed a lot because they're huge, and another repair kit just because your tracks get destroyed a lot because they're huge. And I really don't like to be sitting still in this thing. The armor isn't that great, which we'll get to in just a little bit. Ammo, this thing holds actually not a whole lot of ammo. I've gotten down to no APCR, 1 HE, and like 5 AP left, so you do have to be pretty considerate loading up your ammo. I only had 8 APCR while I was playing this earlier, but I've loaded it to 10 just because a lot of times there's that one E100 left, and you just have to be able to pen. One thing that I found that separates the good from the best is the best players are willing to fire premium ammo when they have to. Like, when you have to pen, you have to fire premium ammo. That's just a fact of life. 20 AP because a lot of times you're going to be shooting at like medium tanks. This is a great counter against mediums because it is fast. And then I'll have 5 HE because the HE again, it's really good. For equipment, ooh, everything's 20% off. I want to buy some equipment on some other tanks. Anyways, I have a gun rammer, because obviously you just want a gun rammer on everything you play, if it can fit a gun rammer. I have fill tanks with CO2 because, as we'll see in Armor Inspector, the engine is in a pretty bad spot, so you get set on fire a lot. The fuel tanks are next to the engine, so running with some CO2 makes your engine less likely to get set on fire. And then I have a vertical stabilizer. I opted for a V-stab as opposed to vents because I really like to be able to take snapshots in this thing, wiggling back and forth to confuse enemies. As we'll see in Armor Inspector, the armor is patchy, so you really want them to be shooting while you're moving or while they're moving. So the V-stab really helps with that. I mentioned mobility. Let's take a quick look back at the mobility of this thing. It's really fast, actually. It weighs 70 tons, and that's pretty heavy. But it does have a 950 horsepower engine, so it shifts pretty well. 34 kph top speed. That's not super good, but it gets to 34 kph really fast. Traverse speed 33 degrees per second. That's not bad. The turret traverse is 25. That's a little bit slow, but coupled with that, that's really fast turret traverse. That's 52 degrees per second of traverse if you combine the two. So you can swing this tank around to counter medium tanks really well. And you'll see that if somebody's trying to circle you in a medium, they're just not going to be able to do it unless you're up against a wall or your engine's damaged or something like that. This tank, again, it's a great counter against mediums. If you are playing against mediums, the one thing that I advise is just keeping the front towards the enemy. The gun is obviously mounted at the rear. The turret's obviously mounted at the rear. So if you're shooting at low-profile medium tanks, you obviously want the gun to be able to aim down and hit their hulls, and if they're at your side, then you might not be able to do that. You just might not have the gun depression. The gun depression is not bad, but again, you just want to be able to shoot tanks that are trying to circle you, and the DPM really helps with countering mediums. I mentioned that the E50M and the SU-12244 are parallels to this tank. The E50M is something similar to the FV215b because they're both heaviums, I would say. The FV215b is fast and it has a little bit of armor. The E50M is fast and it has a little bit of armor. And I think that really makes them similar. The E50M, you change its playstyle based on the situation. For example, if you're playing against a really slow heavy tank or tank destroyer, you act as a medium tank. And you circle them, you flank them, get around to their rear. But if you're fighting against faster, like tier 8 mediums, you just be a heavy tank, and you heavy tank it up, and you just bounce shots. The SU-12244 is similar because the armor isn't bad against lower tiers, but it really isn't helpful against same tier. So you'll have problems with the FV215b when you're battling against IS-7s, E100s, IS-4s, because they just will pen you. SU-12244 is the same way. You'll just get penned a lot of times, unfortunately, but the gun is very DPM-ish, so you have to keep yourself firing, keep the gun going, and unfortunately, tanks like the E100, that one extra shot that you get at the end of the game, that's gonna bolt your damage total up really high. But with these tanks, they both have 122, but basically 120mm guns, and so that one extra shot just isn't quite going to do it. So you really have to keep the gun firing and keep the damage going. So now let's take a look at this beast in Armor Inspector. Alright, so we're here in Armor Inspector looking at the FV215b. First things first, gun depression, 7 degrees. That's pretty good. To the side, it's the same. To the rear, it's the same. Some tanks have different gun depressions if you look at the side, but 7 degrees, not bad. Gun elevation, 15 degrees. That's actually kind of bad. If there's tanks on a high hill above you, you will have trouble shooting at them. It's not quite as bad as the AT-7, but 15 degrees is not the best gun elevation in the game. So now let's take a look at the actual thickness of the armor. So starting with the hull, lower plate 76mm. Shoot at the lower plate, you'll probably pen. Upper plate 152mm. Don't shoot at the upper plate, you probably won't pen, especially because it's at a 45-degree angle. The beak, right there, 254mm of penetration. Never shoot at that, you probably won't pen, because if you can shoot that, you probably can shoot this too, and even if this is at an angle, you'll still pen. So, moral of the story, shoot the lower plate. If you have to, shoot the upper plate, but never shoot the beak. Side armor on the hull. Let's get rid of the spaced armor and the modules. 50mm, that's pretty bad. 101mm, that's pretty bad. You do get some spaced armor. It's only 6mm thick, so it's not going to help you at all. The only thing it helps with is making heat shells detonate prematurely and making HE detonate a larger distance away from your side. But really nobody shoots HE at your side unless you're on low health. And then you do get 25 millimeters of tracks that are counted into that. One thing to note is that you have this little stubby thing back here. People will shoot at that if you're angling. So if you see an FV215b angling and you have lots of pen, then shoot at that. But if you have lots of pen, you can also probably pen that, or somewhere on the turret. So really don't shoot at the side unless they're giving you a lot of side armor. It's pretty weak, so any more than that, and you can pen the side. Moving on to the turret. I forgot to mention, rear armor has none of that. So if you have the rear of an FV215b, shoot HE. Turret, gun mantlet, 254 mils. Don't shoot at the gun mantlet. It's going to disappear and you're not going to pen. The front of the turret is interesting because the farther back you get, the progressively thinner it gets, but it stays just as strong because it gets more slopey. So we have 228 at the front, then 203, and then 152. But as you move backwards, it gets rounder, so it's hard to penetrate the turret from the front at all. What I would recommend doing is, if you have the tank from above, shoot at the roof armor because it's only 50 millimeters thick. So if you have a gun with high pen and you're shooting at it from above, you'll probably pen the turret. You'll probably pen the upper hull for that matter, but yeah, shoot at the turret, shoot at the top of the turret, and also if you have a 151 millimeter gun or above, so all of the Russian 152 mil guns, you can overmatch this, and you can pen. The side of the turret, you get 152, there's a little weak point right there, but that shouldn't be a huge issue because everything that's shooting at you should be able to pen 152 millimeters of armor. Rear of the turret, 101, it's really weak. But the commander's hatch is very, very interesting. So we have 152 millimeters of armor on the front. That's the place you can pen. This right here is only 101 millimeters thick, but it's super angled. You're not going to be able to pen that. So, well, other than this tiny little observation device, this is where you have to shoot to pen. If you shoot anywhere else, you're probably going to bounce. So even with your tier 10 medium shooting heat, you're not going to be able to pen this most of the time, especially if he's using his gun depression and angling down like that. Look at that angle. You're not going to be able to pen that. You have to hit this 152 millimeters of armor to pen the turret. There's another option, it's to shoot right here at this observation device, because behind that observation device is flat 152 millimeters of armor. But again, very hard to hit that. There's also a little observation device on the front, but that's so tiny you're not going to be able to hit that. So now let's take a look at this thing getting shot at by its own gun. This is probably the perfect angle for you to be shooting at. A little bit angle. Let's move the turret just a little bit more like that. That's probably the perfect angle for you to be shooting at someone in your FV215b, because even with its own gun, can't pen the upper plate. 300 millimeters thick. The turret, 400 millimeters thick. And if you can cover up your lower plate, that's not an issue. There's that little weak point right there, and there's also the little weak point right there. So be aware of those. One thing that I advise is wiggling back and forth. So you just take the little control-y thing on the left side, and you go forward then backwards and forward then backwards, because the aim time allows you to aim in, take a snapshot, then wiggle again, so no one can actually hit these weak points. And if you cover up that lower plate, very hard to pen. If we're switching to APCR with its own gun, you do have the ability to pen that beak, but again, you shouldn't be trying to pen the beak. You should be trying to pen the lower plate, or the side armor, or the turret. So yeah, don't shoot at the beak. From the front, AP, even though it's only 152 millimeters thick, it's very slopey, 256 mils of effective armor without any angling, so you will have trouble penning that. I just noticed this is at 500 meters, so let's zoom in a little bit. 54% chance of penning. There's probably better places for you to be shooting. If we actually aim the gun at the front of the tank, the turret becomes very strong. Effective armor ranges from 316 to 322. That 300 range is pretty much where the turret armor is going to be at. The little section down here, this is a weak point just like on the 4202, but it's very, very small on the FV215b, so you will have trouble penning that. These little cheeks, they aren't turret cheeks, they're like hull cheeks, are a huge weak point, and if you're not wiggling, people are going to pen those. 141 millimeters of effective armor, some tier 6s could pen that, so really be careful with what you're doing. And then if we switch to APCR, the turret is still pretty strong. Upper plate's like butter now. Lower plate, 129 millimeters of penetration. can get through the lower plate. So yeah, APCR is really only useful against those big, scary German and Russian heavy tanks. So now let's take a look at some tanks with this gun shooting at it that you might face in battles in your FV215b. So this is the I-7. We're using the 120mm gun L1A1 that's on the FV215b. And as you can see, the I-7's lower plate is pretty thin, 237 mils of effective armor without angling, but you only have an 84% chance of penning, so 20% of the time, roughly, you will bounce off the I-7's lower plate. If the I-7 angles, that lower plate becomes very strong, but now you start to be able to shoot at his inside drive wheel and at his upper plate. If we switch to APCR, which is what I usually do when I'm fighting against I-7s, that lower plate, 99% chance of pen, and then if he's angling at all, the upper plate, in between 98 and 100% chance to pen. The turret actually gets a little weak point right there. It's only 256 mils thick, but when we're using this gun, 62% chance to pen. I'd rather shoot other places. But again, the APCR allows you to 1v1 other tier 10 heavies much easier. Let's also take a look at the other Russian tier 10 heavy, the IS-4. IS-4, in my opinion, is a weaker tank than the IS-7. Lower plate, super easy with AP. Upper plate, super easy with AP. When the angling perfectly, you can shoot the side armor, you can shoot the upper plate. The lower plate actually becomes pretty strong, but there's some weak points you can find. And honestly, just switch to APCR, and now everything's like butter. Easily going to pen everywhere you shoot. So, against the IS-4, 1v1ing shouldn't be an issue, especially if you're on equal HP. Now let's take a look at the E100. The E100 honestly gives me the most problems when I'm in this tank, other than other FV215bs, because it's so strong. As you can see, we have a 20% chance to pen. The E100's turret is only 250mm thick, and as you can see, we get 259mm of penetration. But the turret is angled, it's sloped. The E100 model in Armor Inspector is a little bit broken, but you can see that it's very slopey. So even if we angle from above, the max you get is a 66% chance. Switching to APCR, AO, 94% chance to pen. I'd rather have 94 than 66. So, E100s, I automatically switch to APCR because I know I'm going to need it. The lower plate on the E100, in between 71 and 73, down to 64 at the bottom end of the lower plate. And if we extend our distance out to 500 meters, lower plate becomes very hard to pen. With APCR, easily get through it. Same thing with the turret. The E100 side armor is much weaker, even at 500 meters. 82 up to 99 right on the side. And the side of the turret, 100% chance to pen. So, yeah, APCR really useful against the front of E100s, but other than the front of IS-7s and the front of E100s, I really never use APCR. Maybe some E3s. I think you'll see me using APCR against the lower plate of an E3 during the Ace Tanker gameplay. Actually, let's take a look at that. The T110 E3 Tier 10 American Tank Destroyer. I shouldn't really have to use it, but you'll see in the gameplay that I do. Let's get a little bit closer. So, from the front, 91mm, or 91% chance to pen, with 229mm of effective armor. As we get towards the sides, that gets a lot weaker, down to 8% chance. So, I loaded APCR, and easily able to pen the entire lower plate of that E3, and he was angled down a little bit like that. So they basically secured the win for our team in the Ace Tanker gameplay. So now, let's take a look at some gameplay, starting off with some epic live gameplay coming right up, courtesy of Kim Jong-spoon. Alright, obviously it's a tier 10 game because we're in a tier 10 and we're on Black Goldville, one of my favorite maps. They have an IS-7, which we're going to need APCR for, E100, which we might need APCR for, but other than that, everything has pretty thin armor, so that's looking good. I'll go caves. Let's go caves, everyone. Hopefully everyone goes caves. Caves is like the place to be on this map. If you go somewhere other than caves, you have a better chance of losing, I'll put it that way. Some interesting chats going on to start off the game. Usually that doesn't happen. I mean, I know I usually don't talk to the enemy team before the game, because a lot of times even when I say good luck, people just get angry. And yeah, so I just talk to my team, go win the game, And if someone rages at you afterwards, then you can deal with it then. Ooh, a Centurion 7-1. Can we take shots at this guy? Hello. Heyo. So we're definitely going to need help on this hill here. The IS-7 has taken the mid-ridge, and the E50M has gone up here. That's interesting. Usually it's the other way around. The Z100 is going to have a nasty surprise. Hey, buddy. Nice. Nice! God, that did not go as I planned it. Oh, is he getting blocked? Got him. I think I will reload before he does. No, T-34, stop. No. Bruh. Alright. Thanks. Oh, there he is. Keep getting low rolls. Can I get the average damage of my gun, please? That'd be great. Ooh, hello, buddy. That was the stupidest shot I've ever taken. That was so stupid. That shouldn't have even come close to hitting him. I should have just donked into the dirt. But RNGesus is with me. Oh, there's a Centurion there. Hello, my friend. That was sick. Just got a mission. That was the easiest tier 10 mission. What mission was that? We'll take a look at that afterwards. Centurion. Yeah. Nope. Buddy. Don't shoot me, IS-8. Don't shoot me. 7 degrees of gun impression is not going to be enough here. Got him. Bouncing, yeah, upper plate. Don't shoot the upper plate. Right above the gun mantlet, we get a pen. Sick. Can we get a pen again? I'm having the stupidest shots pen nowadays. This is awesome. An ISA gonna come? I'm gonna push up. We're gonna push up. We're gonna push up. I'm gonna get this IS-8, and then we're gonna focus on that IS-7. We've been spotted. Oh no. Hi. Oh. No thanks. Sick shot, IS-7. He's using adrenaline. APCR time. Ooh, jukes. Yeah, that didn't pen. Oh my god, can we get the kill? No Top Gun for me. Our spawn. What's he doing over there? Let's go find out if he's actually at our spawn. I haven't seen him the whole game. Wait. Okay. So it's not him saying free kill. Or was it saying? Was it him saying free kill? I don't know. The E50M's gonna get there first. But maybe... Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, the E50M's gonna get this kill unless he bounces. Ooh, get wrecked. Ooh, we probably could have ninja'd that if we'd gotten there a little sooner. That was pretty sweet. Let's take a look at this post-game stats. I feel like I did pretty well. Let's find out. 2 missions completed. Wow. Look at that. What were those missions? Lead Rain, 2,200 damage in the tier 10. That's really easy. And earn 650 XP in one battle. Nice. So I did get some stuff for that. 3,800 damage. Top by XP. Top by kills. Well, tied for top by kills. Top by epic medals. Top by damage. Nice. Let's do one more. Ooh, they have another FV215b. Talk about Jaegeru party for Jagdpanzer E100s. But we do get the extra tier 10. And they don't have an extra tier 9. Well, they have one extra tier 9, but we have equal tier 8, so this should be a win, I hope. I'll go Cap. Cap is the place to be on this map. SOS. Looks like... Oh, 2 of our tier 10s are going Bridge, but... Yeah. Bridge isn't... You can go Bridge, but a safer place to go is Cap. Because if you're at the Cap circle, you can cap. And you can make them leave the bridge. Or they could stay at the bridge and die. There he is. Oh, yeah, we're gonna get this guy here, boys. Side scraping. Pop out, buddy. Pop out. Nah, why not? Maybe he'll pop out now. Yeah, I'm right here. Ooh. Maybe a better chance to pen him. Yeah, okay, so we're not gonna pen him. He knows my reload, right? Mystery 75. There's his commander's hatch. Probably should be shooting at other tanks in this E75, but I don't want to get shot in the side as I move up. There's his commander's hatch again. Look at this reload. This reload is so fast. Crap, they're capping. Who died? Okay, it's a tier 8. Oh, yeah, 6 shot. Crap. Who's capping? Oh, they have a lot of tanks up there. Nuts. Engine fire. Oh, who shot my side? Who shot my side? Who shot my side? Yak Panzer 100. Who's in my side? Bruh. Hello, Mr. Yagru. Just light you on fire. Deserve it. Can we get some help defending the base? Team. Aide-moi, s'il vous plaît. God, he penned me again. I need help. Defend the base, people. I ain't gonna do it by myself. The Jaeger's gonna pop out again, and I'm going to take the shot and then back up ASAP. Who died? T-28. Crap. There might cap to win. I can't go up there though. I mean, I might have to, but like, there's nothing I can do. Who's this? Yak Panzer 100, please defend the base. It's coming out of the... Someone's left the base. There's... Help me. I don't know where to go. The Jaeger is just going to take shots at me if I pop around. Who's that? There's the Yak Panzer 100. He's fired. Another shout in. Let's look at this Jaeger up here. There's an APCR shell. Track him again. We got the kill. Don't cap. No, don't cap. Don't cap. Fight like a man. Please. Yeah. I can't defend the base. I'm sorry, guys. There goes a win. That should have hit him. 4,600 damage. Nah, one more. One more, and then I'll show you guys some sweet Ace Tanker gameplay. Ooh, they have a Sparta platoon in tier 10 mediums. Nice. That's not fun. All go right. No go left. Can't type today. Yeah, I really like going this way. That's not to the right, but okay. Oh crap, there's a rock there. Whew! Just damaged myself going off that cliff. Yeah, that's not to the right, but that's okay. Maybe there'll be snipers, and they'll snipe some of the mediums. But this map is way less snipery than it was before they changed it. So, yeah. Let's see. I really want to kill their mediums, their Sparta platoon, because they're a huge threat. There's one of them. Close. No medium tanks. There's a pen. Oh, there's a bunch of mediums over here. Team, there's mediums. There's medium tanks. Someone should pop out so I can shoot them. T-62A. Oh. Who's this? Who's? Ooh, Pat. Swiss. Sick Commander's Hatch, Mr. 140. Oh, there's a Patton right there. Hi, Patton. I want to get around this Patton, but I'm afraid he's going to get me. Need help with this Patton, people. I'm not going to do it by myself. Yeah, he's looking at me. He's definitely looking at me. Okay, sick. T-62A is going. Oh, he's gonna try to circle me. Ready? No. Someone shot me in the rear, so let's get out of there. Thank you. I really should kill him with this shot, please. Ram kill. Let's kill this T-62A, please. Please help. There we go. Who's left? Oh god, there's an E-100 left. Are they way over there? Where are they at? Oh, they're way over there. Okay, sick. Sniper tank time. Whew, heart was beating there. We just killed... Well, we didn't kill 3 mediums. We killed 2 tier 10 mediums. Like, right in a row. I'll help you out, guys. Let's see if we can get some of their side armor. How deep into the town were they? I wonder. I think, yeah, if we pop up to this ridge line up here, we'll be able to get shots. With my gun in the game, we have a better chance of winning. Just by default. So if I don't die, we have a much better chance of winning. If I die, then it's 2-on-2, and we'll probably lose. Here's a pen. Might switch to APCR for this little engagement here. No. Yeah. But hey, he just fired. He's gonna die with this next shot. Please, I7, please. Thank you so much. And now we're pretty much guaranteed to win, because even if this I7 dies, then we have the object 7 and 4. So, I7, please don't die, don't die, don't die. Pull the trigger, pull the trigger. There you go. Nice. Sick win. I7 got a top gun. He was pretty good. Let's take a look at those post-game stats. Ayo, 4,400 damage. So all these games have been super high damage. That's because the tank's just a beast. It does really well. It deals with mediums. You saw we dealt with that T-54. He was able to outrun our tracks, but not our turret. So we were able to deal with him really effectively. We did get taken out by the D-100 at the end. It's probably pretty stupid. I should have found a better place to go hull down, but you know what? We won the game. We got a Confederate, which is awesome. Yeah. So now let's take a look at some epic Ace Tanker gameplay. Let's go. Alright guys, so we're here on Falls Creek for some sweet Ace Tanker gameplay, and as we can see here, both teams have 5 tier 10s. That's a lot of tier 10s to be up against, but that does mean there's a lot of HP on that battlefield, so we will be able to do a lot of damage. One thing you'll notice for this Ace Tanker is the damage value is low. I do not do a whole lot of damage, but we'll see at the end of the game what actually catapults that XP high enough that I get the Ace Tanker. So, starting on Falls Creek here, I'm telling everyone to go Cap, because Cap is the place you want to be. In the live gameplay, you saw that I pushed up to the buildings just up ahead of me, was bogged down by shooting at a tier 9. I probably should have just pushed up to the cap, taken the hit from the E75, because they capped to win. So if I hadn't been bogged down in these buildings, I probably could have reset the cap, and I wouldn't have taken those 2 shots in the side from the Jagdpanzer 100. I don't get stuck behind those buildings this time. However, we do still get spotted. There's an IS-7, and yeah, I don't like shooting at IS-7, so I'm going to pop AP in, and then I'm switch to APCR. Lower plate on that IS-7 as he pokes over the hill. Boom, easy peasy pen. And we're switched over to APCR right here because it does look like he's going to be poking his nose around this corner. We take out his inside drive wheel, tracking him around the corner, and the only shot he has is at our upper plate. And this guy's getting absolutely pounded. Probably did not need APCR for that kill, but there's our first kill. 2 shots into an IS-7. Their T-110E5 is pushing up to the cap circle, taking hits along the way. So I'm going to push up because there is nobody over here other than the IS-4, so I'm not going to take pot shots at. And there's a T-110E3 and an IS-8, so T-110E3 bounces. I know I have no chance of penning a hull-down T-110E3, so I pull the trigger against the target that I know I can penetrate, the IS-8. I'm side-scraping here. Can't pen the T-110E3 with AP. As we saw, looking at Armor Inspector, APCR is the much better option. We do take a hit. Unfortunately, saw that the sidearm was not super great in this tank, so the T-110E3 can reliably penetrate our armor if we poke out. So, like that, he can pen us easily. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just making it hard for him to actually hit our side armor. If he just puts one into our tracks, we won't take damage. But he gets taken out by our buddy in the T-30. So I'm looking to see who I want to engage next, and it looks like that this T-110E5 is causing a bunch of trouble up in cap, so we quickly casually kill the IS-8, and now we're going to switch to the E5 up in cap. I was going to take some pot shots at that Jagdpanzer 100, but he honestly is not a threat to my friendlies right now, and the T-110E5 is. So we're going to roll around the corner, set him on fire, and then our buddy in the IS-7 gets the kill on that guy. So now, our next target is going to be the Jagdpanzer 100. One of their 5 tier 10s, pretty dangerous, switching to APCR for that lower plate shot, and then backing up, not going to take a 170mm shell, thank you very much. And as I'm side scraping here, do you notice that little red triangle on the right side? That means there's a tank there. So there's an ISU-152 gets completely roasted, and so I get the kill on him. And now it's 6 against 2. And we're able to push up on this Jagdpanzer 100 who's taking hits from other people. We put one in for a nice high roll, 421. Again, the average damage of this gun is 400, so rolls like that really make my day. Now we've got rear shots on this IS-4. 435, another high roll, on the move. It's just the accuracy of this gun helps. 1 HP, thank you very much, 4 kills. And again, that was a pretty casual game. I was like, well, maybe second class, first class if we're lucky. But let's take a quick look at those post-game stats and see exactly how well we did. So we can see we did get those golden arches, Top Gun, and Tank Sniper, but only 4,980 damage. I've had 5k games in this thing that have been second classes because I've been shooting at tier 8s, targets that I haven't been spotting. But we did get 1,542 base XP. This is not my times 2 XP, so 1,542 without premium is the base XP that we're going to get. And that is because we were spotting our own targets. If you guys didn't know that if you're not spotting a tank that you're shooting at, when you damage it, you get half of the XP you would get from spotting it. So we did 1,542 base XP, 15 shots, 15 hits, 14 pens. We did 2,792 spotting damage. The E5, the ISU-152, the Jagdpanzer E100, and the T-110E3, we all spotted them for our friendlies. So we were able to do a bunch of spotting damage, 1,000 spotting damage, that IS-8, a bunch of spotting damage on the Jagdpanzer E100 too, and a bunch on the IS-7. So that is how I got probably like a 3rd Master Badges tanker in the FV215b, tier 10 British heavy tank. If you guys like heaviums, which are fast heavy tanks that don't have necessarily the great armor that the E100 has, but you like their mobility and you like a great gun, definitely check out the British heavy line. The Conqueror and the FV215b share a fantastic gun, and if I could have any gun mounted on a tank in this game, then I would mount this gun, the 120mm L1A1, because it's an absolute beast, and the DPM is fantastic. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up down below, and stay tuned for more awesome tank videos. Thanks.